So, I liked it. I do have to say that I am one of the few people in the world that didn't enjoy the first Wonder Woman. So is this a recommendation or a statement of how stupid I am? I will admit though that while I did enjoy Wonder Woman 1984 more, I also have to admit that the first movie was much more competent. Also, after I saw this movie, I did a little bit of research on it and learned that it went through delays and rewrites and reshoots, and it shows. The movie actually ends on a Christmas scene, and I have to wonder if that was always there or if it was an addition after all of the delays which pushed it back to Christmas time on HBO Max. The movie is quite frankly a mess. What's the story? It's 1984, duh, and this is not a good sign. I remember what happens, but I can barely remember the order in which they happened. There's fights and object exposition, reveals, character arcs, historiosities, twists. The story isn't necessarily bad, but it's clumsy in how it's told. Patty Jenkins is a talented director, but she might have been out of her depths here. It's difficult to even decide where to start. Do I start with the wish-granting object? Yes, that's the thing that's in this movie. The main villain is Maxwell Lord, and he's seeking this magical object to restore his oil wealth and... wow, this seems even dumber now that I'm typing it out and reading it to you, the viewer. This isn't even the kind of dumb that shouldn't theoretically work for superhero movies, but I think that the movie knows that it's dumb. Maybe? Anyway, you wish for something with a rock, you get it, but you lose something else. Monkey's poor logic. So that's a fine way to keep things interesting, but how the rock works is not exactly clear. When most people make their wishes, they seem to manifest out of nothing, but this one particular wish involves, possession. Now, the wish-granting rock was created by a god of mischief, so are the not entirely consistent rules a part of that, or is it just the filmmaker saying, fuck it? There's also not a whole lot of action in this superhero movie. This runs at 151 minutes, which is longer than Infinity War, and it goes for a long time during its second act without action and focusing that time on other things, which is not a bad thing. Endgame was largely driven by character and dialogue, but Wonder Woman 1984 can't carry itself the same way. And yet, despite my criticisms, I don't think that this is a bad movie. So what does work about it? The visual effects are pretty good, a huge step up from the first movie which had pretty lousy CGI. Sure, it may be a little uneven at times, but when they look good, it looks very good. We even get a version of Wonder Woman's eagle armor from Kingdom Come, which looks really good on screen. The score composed by Hans Zimmer is absolute 100% kick-ass, even though I really wanted to hear that guitar theme and it's not here. Not a deal breaker though. Hans Zimmer is one of the great film composers of this generation, and demonstrates why in this movie. Hey, Zimmer has now composed for solo movies in The Trinity, The Dark Knight trilogy, Man of Steel, and now Wonder Woman 1984. The acting is also good. Gal Gadot continues to be well suited for Wonder Woman, Chris Pine's character makes a welcome return, Kristen Wiig is a worthy foe for the superhero icon, and Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord probably gives the strongest performance, portraying someone who's definitely not likable in the least, but has an admirable and understandable desire to succeed and make people proud. But being a Trump analog is possibly going to feel dated pretty soon. Even though I did enjoy this movie more than the first one, I have to admit that it doesn't really work. It's a complete mess really. It's disjointed, incoherent, and all over the place. I don't know what went wrong. Whether DC didn't have enough confidence in Patty Jenkins to provide a good movie, or if Jenkins herself might have been overwhelmed by this project. Or maybe both? Or neither? Whatever the case, Wonder Woman was competent but standard and dull, while Wonder Woman 1984 is complicated but ambitious. And on this occasion I prefer an ambitious mess.